Hello and welcome to this channel where I talk about trading in the crypto market. I am going to show you guys how I enter these trades, what I look for before entering the trades, and most importantly, some of the rules that I never break. Today I wanted to talk about, of course, price prediction, where I see price going. And after that, I actually wanted to go back and show you guys the way I trade, because I have reason to believe that a lot of people actually still do not understand properly how I trade. Because keep in mind, yes, I do tell you guys maybe where I'm gonna enter, where I think you guys should enter, but at the end of the day, it is not financial advice, and the end goal is for you guys to learn independently on how you guys can trade with your own merit. So with that being said, of course, I do have to mention, if you guys listen to me in BTC and ETH, you guys would be up and you guys made money. But Solana and ADA, I decided to defy the structure of BTC, and you shouldn't, because BTC is the main. But I went against it and it did not turn out the way we wanted it to. Both of these I thought it was going to be a long, but it was a short position, so we got stopped out. I did not enter these trades. As I told yesterday when I filmed it, I did not enter these trades specifically because I missed out on them on my perfect entry point. But yeah, so looking at it right now, this was definitely an entry. So this one was a break back in. Entry point should have been down here and you would have been at 1.5, right? Problem with this, now the box is way too big, so what we're gonna do is wait, let me just get rid of a lot of this. So this here was the next box going up here, right? With that being said, this is our next box. Price came down, touched, broke down. That would mean that this here is our next box. Price broke out, came in, broke down. That's it. So now this will be our next box. You're still looking at a selling position. It broke down. It's gonna look to sell. We are very near, so if you guys want to enter this trade, I would suggest you do. It is a high risk trade because it's a smaller box, and all of you should know this by now because I talk about it almost all the time. But the good thing about this is you don't have that big of a stop loss. So if you guys were to enter 1.5 ratio, get in, hop out quickly, and if you get stopped out, your position should not be that big. Your position should not at all be high levered. And yeah, so we're gonna move on to Ethereum with price prediction, and then we're gonna go back to BTC to show you guys how I do these box methods. Hopefully get into more depth on how I can explain better. But yeah, so with Ethereum, let's get rid of this. So the same thing, where from here there was a selling point, came back into test, and it shot down, right? Same thing. The only difference is, there's almost no difference in the sense where price movement was way too big on this down. So we're not going to be boxing none of that up. That's too much. See, the point is here, you are supposed to be boxing it, but that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say, where I have my own ways of trading, in the sense I know what I'm supposed to do just based on experience, which is, maybe it would have worked out, but it's not for me. I don't think I will be trading in that sense. So this is definitely going to be our first box. Price broke down, came back in, tested. Like this, see, look. Price broke down, came back in, tested, and then came back down. So my point is, if you guys were to enter, this would have been your trade. Stop loss right there. 1.5 ratio, that's it. You would have made money. And then this is the next box from here till here. So price broke down, came back in, tested, and broke back down. Just like this. See, look, price broke down, came back into test inside the box, and came down. So let's get rid of that. So now what we can do is we can look at the next one, which is here to here. Just still looking in a huge selling position at the moment. Price came out. This is a perfect entry right now. Right when I post this video, you guys should enter if you guys would like to. Keep in mind, it's not financial advice, but it's showing you my entry point if you guys would like to enter. So a selling position, 1.5 ratio. Do not go high position, do not go high lev. because it is a kind of risky trade in the sense where if it's a small box, you guys should know by now that I do not trade that much of small boxes, but I do like the trend that it's going in. It is in a selling trend, which is why it is understandable. BOS with the small box is very risky for me. I do not enter those, but this is not a BOS. This is a straight structure selling position, and yeah, if you guys do get stopped out, you're not gonna lose much, only because what is that? It's almost just a 1% loss. Of course, depending on how much you have, it's multiplied by that, but yes, you get the point. So yeah, based on the price prediction and daily update, we are still looking in a selling position. So we're gonna go back to BTC just to show you guys way I supposedly trade, and I want to show you guys how I look for these blocks methods. So I can just show you from here. This here specifically, we always go for the height of everything and the low of everything. Oh shit, wait, oh, where the fuck this one was. But yeah, anyways, so of course, let's say you're looking at it this way. This is the low, and where's the height? The height is either this here or this here, whichever you want. But it depends on like the specific screen you're looking at, whatever's the highest and the lowest. And of course, if you're in a selling position, you would like to, I personally would like to prefer the higher point, and if you're in the selling position, you would like to prefer the lower point. But it goes both ways. It just depends on where price can break out and then come back into test. So with this, price broke down here, it tested up back, then there's trading inside. So you keep in mind, and it's sold bottom. You see, so because we start with the height, right? Now the next thing is whenever price breaks down and comes back into test, that's when you're supposed to box up. So now this box, I boxed it up, came back here and broke down to this BOS. We don't look at that anymore. So now this, we got to the low. This is the low. Price broke out, it came back into test and shot out. That's it. Now that means we were supposed to get the next box from here to here. From here, price trading. Price broke out here, if I'm not mistaken, it came back into test and it did break out. This is not trades I entered, by the way, because again, it is small box and I don't trade as much as small box, but this is not 1.5 trades. We probably would have lost this one just because of this huge sell here. But this box specifically is where it was a gold mine, which I did not enter, by the way. I'm not saying I entered this because I did not watch it in time. I actually watched it right when I uploaded this video, and I was doing the live analysis on where I think price was gonna go, and I did turn out to be right. So I probably should have entered, but I just did not. It's no explainable reason, honestly. It's just a mistake on my end. So it sold, came back into test up here, broke back down. Then here, so ever since it broke back down, it came back into test, so you boxed that up. So now that price broke down, you can go, it went back into test, almost, what was that, like 30%? It came back down. Now the thing with this, it looks like price is about to break out here, but I am not in this trade. I am thinking about it. I think I am going to be entering this trade right when I finish uploading this video, but yeah. It is in a selling position, and I do think price will be pushing down a little bit. Maybe we can look at it until somewhere around these zones, until it's gonna come down here, maybe, and then bounce back. By the way, at one point I'm also gonna be teaching you guys about partials, and the point where sometimes when I enter trades that I am confident in or not necessarily confident in, but based on my TA, it is going to be, let's say, in a selling position, and my first exit would be at a 1.5 ratio. Sometimes I only take out 50%, 70% of the position, and I leave the rest to ride. My point with this, if I got out with a 1.5 ratio here, right there, 1.5 ratio would be somewhere here, I would have missed out almost everything until the bottom of this trade. Exactly, which is why I take out maybe 80%, 60 to 80% on my first TP. TP is basically stands for take profit. If you guys do not know what that means, basically partially out your trade so that you guys do not end up in big losses. But yeah, that's the main goal. You TP first and then leave the rest out to ride. You do not even break even. Get your profit. After you get your profit, you can leave the rest to ride. Take profit, partial, whatever you want to call it. Moving on with ease. Just quick run through of what happened and how I got to where I am. So of course from here, highest entry, same thing, box are there, you don't see any much boxes here.
started, broke down, came back in, tested, broke down, right? Now this is going to be your next box. It broke down, came back in, tested, broke down, next box. It broke out here instead of a selling position, so I was a little bit risky. But I did not enter this trade because it was a BOS. But it was not a negative BOS because it did not do a double break structure. DBOS, double break of structure. But after this, it broke out, came back into test, and it broke out to this next box. Broke out here, came back into test. It did break out, to be fair. But if any one of you joined this one, or not even joined, but you entered this specific trade, you'd have been in a loss because that's not even close to a 1.5 ratio, which is what I would have followed. And I don't know, maybe you guys have something else, a 1-to-1, a 1-to-1.2, whatever it is. And yeah, so it would have been a selling. Then from here, BOS again, you got the height, sold it, and came back down here, came back up here, tested somewhere around these parts, tested, you entry. This is where you entry from, all the way from here. Selling position right there, 1.5 ratio right there. This is what I'm talking about. See, look, if I took out 80% right here, 80% right there, I would have 20% running with high level. I'm not saying like you can change your level position, or I'm going to, it's just more like with the specific light that I entered in, of course. Apologies for that misconception, but partialing is actually a good technique to be able to maximize, but at the same time play safe. Because with that 80%, I already made my gains, and on top of that, I still have another 20% running off until I please. Now, the problem with wherever your 20% is going to be running to, you should be able to maybe mark out like in this specific case. In this specific case, look for a demand zone where you're looking at price to bounce back, because that's when you really want to take out your profits at that point. Like here was one of them. This is probably where I would have bounced with my 20% in this specific point, or down here, either one of these two, or maybe I'll go higher, I'll go lower time frame, check snipes, check big demand zones possible, and I'll just bounce in the specific one where I feel it's the more realistic and practical route to get out in. So of course, if you guys did enjoy this video, I want to show you guys more of, I guess, thought process more than actually trading style, because I did run through them. I want to show you guys the thought process on how I actually look at these trades when I wake up in the morning. I always make sure I have my setups ready, my whatever analysis that I do, which is of course the box plus S&D, but my S&D is slowing down a little bit because box has been doing very great for me. I am up, I am making money. So whatever works for you does not work for me. Whatever works for me might not work for you. I know people that do box, do S&D, do Wyckoff. They do a lot of things just to get perfect trades. Yes, their win ratio is more than me, but if you compare the amount of trades I enter compared to them, everything balances out. So at the end of the day, also I want to teach you guys that do not look necessarily at profit, but look at the amount of percentage gain. So even if you only entered with $50 to $100, which is about how much I enter with, about $100 to $200, if you guys would like to know. But let's say just say you enter with $100 and you only manage to get it with 20%. That's good. Don't look at it that you only made $20. Look at it that you made 20% of whatever the hell, and you're never gonna get that investing in any other method. You get 70%, but you only ended with $50. It doesn't look like much, but look at the amount of percentage that you were able to gain from that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe, of course, if you did enjoy. Peace.